We've got gold to bronze. The 1 seed, Pinocchio, against the 16 seed, Robin Hood.
Oh, I wish I saved my coin.
I feel like in a lot of circles, like this is a difficult matchup. It is not for me. It's Pinocchio very easily. Robin Hood's fun. King John is actually a memorable villain.
Prince,
Whatever.
Prince.
But like Pinocchio is just like so iconic. The whole donkey section and at Pleasure Island, like the fucking the No Strings on Me song. What was the guy's name? Stromboli. that guy was a fucking menace. Jiminy Cricket is still very much like prominent to this day, like in Disney. I would say even more than Pinocchio, like, which is kind of insane. I think it's Pinocchio, and like I think what makes a Pinocchio even more impressive is that this was Disney's second movie, and it still like holds up incredibly well. Like, look at the animation there. Like, it's still very well made. You know, like obviously it's a little dated because it came out in the fucking 40s, but like this movie is almost 80 years old. Well, actually over 80 years old at this point. Like, and it still holds up very well.
Pinocchio is a movie I'm afraid they're going to try to make live action, and it's going to suck.
They have. Oh, they have.
They?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't know where to watch
it. It stinks.
I'm one of the circles that would think Robin Hood would be harder. I'm gonna pick Pinocchio. I'm not gonna go crazy with this. If I still had my coin, I would get Robin Hood through because I enjoy Robin Hood that much. But I can't fight Pinocchio making it through this movie. I do like Robin Hood. Robin Hood cracked me up. The the Prince John was funny as shit. Always sucking his thumb cracked me up. The sheriff cracked me up. I really liked Robin Hood. Like, I could go back and watch Robin Hood now and enjoy myself. The archery contest where he's dressed up like a stork. Well done.
It doesn't feel like a movie for me though. It kind of just feels like a whole bunch of like shorts and one cohesive long story. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with Robin Hood actually.
Oh man,
I think I'm gonna lose, and I understand I'm losing, but I'm gonna go with Robin Hood. I enjoy Robin Hood more.
Seems a wild card.
So that you're officially switching?
Yeah, I'm going with Robin Hood.
Okay, well that's gonna make this real interesting because I'm going Robin Hood easy. I'm not a Pinocchio fan at all, so I'm very, very easily going Robin Hood. Far prefer it. In a head-to-head against Pinocchio, I'd rather.
Gotta do the thumb sucking.
Yeah, yep, easy. So, because the fan vote split, that means we're gonna have the 16 seed advance in a major upset in the first round. Cinderella story.
You'll love to see it. Love to see it. That's Duke.
I need to see this next matchup.
All right, next up we've got the 8 seed Sleeping Beauty against the 9 seed The Jungle Book.
Now here's the fun thing about Sleeping Beauty, right? Sleeping Beauty is a fine movie, whatever. But the most memorable part of Sleeping Beauty is Maleficent. Yeah. Maleficent to me is the only thing like that, like, not that Disney isn't particularly proud of Sleeping Beauty, but like if you're putting Sleeping Beauty against Cinderella, like Disney's taking Cinderella all day, right? But I think Maleficent is more prominent than Maleficent's probably the most prominent thing in this whole era. if we're being honest. Like, she's still, I mean, she got a fucking live action movie with Angelina Jolie.
I think you
Like,
could make the argument that Maleficent is the most iconic villain in Disney.
yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
like, I think the only people that are close are Scar, Ursula, Jafar, and like Hook, maybe. There's not really a lot of like modern villains that are like. There's a lot of good modern villains, but none of them really stand out as like. I did like Doctor Facilier and Princess and the Frog, but like I don't think like he's anywhere near.
He would have scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Right?
He was
I'll be honest
incredible.
with you.
I have friends on the other side. So good.
Hook is a
But
good guy.
but Jungle Book. I think Jungle Book. I said this earlier. Jungle Book is just better Tarzan. I think the music is some of the most iconic music in Disney. I Want to Be Like You and fucking Bare Necessities still get played in the fucking parks to this day.
Yeah.
You could
I can attest to that.
You could sing it and people will still fucking do like, and it probably has one of the better live action remakes that's been released as well.
I
I
agree with
think
that at all.
I love the live action remake. King Louis is fucking fantastic. Ka is menacing. The only thing that I'm not a big fan of with the Jungle Book is Shere Khan. I think he's kind of underwhelming. More so because he's not in the movie all that much. You hear about him a lot, but you don't really see him until like last 15, 20 minutes, if that.
Jaws-ish.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit, yeah. Like you hear stories about the guy.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm giving it to Jungle Book.
So I'm also gonna go Jungle Book. You guys hit the nail on the head with Sleeping Beauty. Maleficent is the most iconic Disney villain. Like I said, Gaston's my favorite. He's just my favorite. But when I think of Disney villains, that's who I think of. I think of her. Jungle Book is one of my favorite Disney movies ever. I love the soundtrack. I love the characters. I actually like the spin-off Tailspin, which if you haven't seen that, great cartoon series. It is on Disney Plus. It stars Baloo. It stars Louie, and they replaced Mowgli with a kid named Kit who surfs, which is kind of funny. Cloud Surf,
Yeah.
sorry, Cloud Kicker, whatever you want to call him. Shere Khan is a businessman, which is just funny. But yeah, I think the weak point with Jungle. I think you guys did nail it on the head. The weak point with Jungle Book is he was underwhelming. Like you don't need the villain to be in the
They
whole
built
movie.
him up, and then he's just kind of.
Yeah. So the snake was funny as shit.
Right.
But a lot of the characters you notice are in Robin Hood too, like the style. Like Baloo is like it's very. It's good. It's not great. Sleeping Beauty is.
I think the problem with Sleeping Beauty is, like we've talked about here, is Maleficent easily steals the show. Like that movie is pretty much all about her, whereas the main character you're actually supposed to be rooting for, you kind of don't care about.
Yeah,
not even a little bit. Like
Aurora.
The thing I like about
we're
all in agreement. I like that Jungle Book kind of has the it feels like it's got a video game arch. You know what I mean? Like he's going through Ka and King Louis, and he's kind of working his way up to the big boss.
Khan,
but then, like you said, the Shere Khan kind of falters at the end.
Yeah.
It's not as strong as you expected. But I do enjoy that more. Yeah, I do enjoy that more than Sleeping Beauty, though. So it's a clean sweep.
And then, like the entire movie, he's like, no, I want to stay in the jungle forever. And then, like, he like just follows his like human instincts and winds up like leaving.
Right. And then like, he gets what he wants and immediately doesn't want it anymore. Very spoiled brat mentality.
It's like a teenager.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next up, we've got the number 5 seed Fantasia. That's right, the OG is back against the 12 seed Alice in Wonderland.
I hate both of these movies.
I think this is going to be our first 5-12 upset. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm giving it to Alice in Wonderland. Fantasia. Here's my issue with the original Fantasia. So for those of you who do not know, Fantasia is the third movie that Disney released. They released Snow White, and then they released Pinocchio, and then they released Fantasia. Fantasia, when it originally came out, was actually a concert that would go from city to city, and they would do it live. They would have the projector, and they would have a live orchestra. And then they made it into a movie for people who might not have been able to watch it live, whatever. It is 2.5 hours of fucking. Imagine a concert, but like everything is classical and like it's just a whole bunch of abstract images. It's like being at a museum and like, but not being able to leave when you want to leave. Like. But then, like, I'm not a big Alice in Wonderland fan either. I think it's just a whole bunch of nonsense, which is kind of the point.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I think whatever movie is facing Alice in Wonderland, I'm voting Alice in Wonderland. But I think whatever is facing Alice in Wonderland. But I actually love the live action. I haven't watched the live action, but I hear it's pretty good. But like, I think it's just a bunch of nonsense. Like, I don't mind random stuff, but like it. Like, after a bit, it's like, what's happening here? And then she was just fucking sleeping the whole time. Like,
yeah.
Like Super Mario 2.
Like, this is like, I'm giving this to Alice in Wonderland, but like, I'm hoping that whatever movie wins this next matchup is a good one.
So again, we're going back to the park. Disney World has a ride called Fantasmic. It's not a ride to sit down.
The show, yeah. Fantasmic is incredible.
And you watch a bunch of scenes from movies where they play music and stuff. If Fantasia was that 5-10 minute thing,
yeah,
I would enjoy it.
It was a short.
Mark's exactly right. Like you're like, okay, well that was a cute little song. That was nice. And it just keeps going. It's like November Rain. It's like, I'm done with you. Just stop.
It drags.
And that's why like Fantasia 2000 is better, because they like understood the assignment. They're like, all right, this first one was too long.
Alice in Wonderland based off Through the Looking Glass. Alice in Wonderland, to me, the cartoon is kind of.
It's probably a blast to watch if you're high.
I was gonna say, it reminds me of SpongeBob. It's like, yeah, it can be fun, but I think if you're fucked up, it's even better. But as a sober person, you're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
The movies are a lot better. Like Johnny Depp, Haley Bonham Carter, I think her name is, as the evil queen is so good. I'm gonna go with Alice in Wonderland just because Fantasia just overstays its welcome. But the live action Alice in Wonderland movies, I do recommend seeing if you haven't.
Alice is gonna move on. I do.
Steve, I just realized that there's no clips of Fantasia.
No. I played Fantasia for a little bit before this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just. It's mostly the orchestra. That's mostly what it is.
The brooms going through there and clean.
Honestly, what I like, especially for this time, that Alice did really well is there's a lot of these movies. It's magic, it's a spell, it's a witch, it's some kind of like curse or dark magic or something.
Yeah.
For the reason that everything is happening. Whereas in Alice in Wonderland, everything is crazy and nonsense because it's a dream.
Yeah.
So they kind of just explain it away that anything can happen because it's a dreamland that she's
yeah, but in that same token, that also like it literally makes nothing matter.
Yeah, I just think it's unique in that sense compared to everything else that we're kind of going through.
It's like when I beat Super Mario 2 for the regular Nintendo and I found out it was all a dream. I was so pissed. All right. Anyways, moving on.
Number 4 seed, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, against the 13 seed, Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. So easily. I think Snow White. So, again, this is one of those movies that I think when I was originally rating it, Actually, it's probably where it deserves to be. I think the issue with Snow White is that like Disney was really trying to flex its animation, and like the animation looks good. Like the watercolors, like you guys can see in the clips, it looks really good for. Again, it came out in like 1939, whatever. So like it's decent, whatever. But like the movie takes forever to get to like the interesting bits, which is the seven dwarves. Half like the movie she is spending either like running around in the forest or like singing to this prince that like she met 30 seconds ago. And then like the evil queen, like the most entertaining parts is like the last 20 minutes. While Peter Pan has a lot going for it. Peter Pan is kind of a dick, but like you got Hook, Wendy's charming, the Lost Boys are pretty cool, whatever. Tinkerbell's kind of a jealous bitch, but she's again another one of those things where like Tinkerbell's probably the most iconic part of the movie, but like other than like Hook,
There's no Rufio.
I'm giving this to Peter Pan. I think this is going to be an upset. And
Okay,
I feel like people give Snow White. Sorry to cut you off. I feel like a lot of people give Snow White a lot more credit because it was Disney's first movie. But I think Peter Pan is better.
Yeah. So I'll go get into Snow White first. Another great ride at Disney World, by the way. If you haven't done it, good times. Peter Pan.
Peter Pan is better though.
Peter Pan is a longer line for a smaller ride. I will not be upset by Peter Pan having an hour line every time I go. I'm like, what the fuck? It's a constantly moving ride. It takes a minute and a half. Why is there a line? This is so goddamn stupid. Anyways, let me get that out of the way. For years, when I was a kid, one of my go-to movies was when I was younger was Hook. Where like my grandma had that on VHS along with and the Peter Pan that I saw was a play version of Peter Pan. So I didn't actually see the cartoon Peter Pan for a long time, it's almost adulthood. But I always watched a play version. And I thought it was really good. The cartoon's not as great, but the cartoon's good. I did enjoy the Hook movies better. I'm gonna give those props real fast. If you haven't seen the movie Hook, it's the sequel to Peter Pan. Dustin Hoffman, Robin Williams, Rufio is my favorite character. Bangarang is so funny. Like Bangarang, Rufio. I'm gonna go with Peter Pan. I recommend seeing Hook though. Hook's better. So I guess that's where I'm at. Snow White wasn't very good. I mean, I can name the seven dwarves sometimes. Let me try. We got Doc, Grumpy, Bashful, Sleepy, Sneezy, Happy.
Missing one more.
Fucking who am I missing?
You got this. I know who you're missing too.
Shit, I don't know. Go.
Give up?
Yeah, I give up.
Dopey.
Of course, I'm missing Dopey. The dopiest thing you could do.
It's going to be a clean sweep. I'm also going to go Peter Pan. The best part about
Snow White just does not hold up well.
Well, the best part about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is the Seven Dwarfs.
Robin Williams, yeah, I forgot Robin
But
Williams.
At least they get they get a bill, they get credit for being in the movie, unlike Sleeping Beauty, which is just Sleeping Beauty, and it's mainly about Maleficent. But that's so we've got the 12 against the 13 in the second round after back-to-back upsets there.
Wow.
I do like the Peter Pan Geico commercials though, where he's playing.
That didn't
on
really
him being
feel
an
like
asshole.
an upset to me.
So by the way, just again, you guys can follow the link in the Discord to follow along with the brackets here. But right now, in this region, we have had the 16, 9, 12, and 13 seeds all advance. It's been all upsets to this point.
Wow. That's pretty wild.
All right, next up, we've got the number 3 seed Dumbo against the number 14 seed The Sword in the Stone.
Huh.
Can I start with this one?
Yeah, go for it.
If it's up poll.
I show.
Why not?
Show these the second ratings. You may have to reset the poll.
Yeah, it's not letting me put the poll in there for some reason. I don't know what's happening. Anyways, I'll get to that in a minute. I'm going with Sword in the Stone with a bullet. I really liked Sword in the Stone. I enjoyed it. Not the most historically thing with all, as far as everything goes. Don't care. When he was showing Arthur how to do certain stuff, like when he made him a fish, great. When he made him a bird, great. Was there a better hero villain battle than him versus Madam Mim? No,
oh yeah,
never.
Madam Mim was
out when he decided, I'm gonna beat you by turning into a virus you can't see.
That's fucking insane.
Loved
like
it.
What?
I also loved that the witches duel. The rules were you can't disappear, you can't be a fake creature, and what was the other one? There was another rule, but immediately he broke the rules to start. She's like, first thing she does, disappears.
Yep.
Then she's a fake creature. So good. I'm going Sword in the Stone. Dumbo, I guess, iconic. Dumbo, an iconic ride at Disney as well. I took my nephew on it many a times. There's a picture of me as a baby on there with my grandma, so it's pretty iconic. I don't enjoy Dumbo that much. I actually enjoyed the movie Operation Dumbo Drop. I don't know if you ever seen that. If you haven't seen that, check that out. Steve laughs. I think he may have seen it.
Yeah.
It's based how they had to drop an elephant in Vietnam. Anyways, check that out, Mark. I swear to God, you'll have a good time. But yeah, I'm going Sword in the Stone. Sorry to go first, but there's my vote.
It's fun.
Let's get the sample.
I think, like, my issues with Dumbo are very quickly dealt with because it is, I want to say it's Disney's second shortest movie. I think it's like an hour and 5 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes. Like, before you know it, it's fucking done. The pink elephant is still one of the most memorable scenes I've ever watched. It does lose points for having literal Jim Crows. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking there. Like, you see it in the fucking clip. They were just laughing at him.
It still won't let you do the poll, right, Duck?
I'm resetting everything real fast. I'm gonna try it right now.
It's because of Dumbo. It thinks you're putting an insulting term in the poll. That's why it won't do it.
Gotcha.
D word.
It's fine. We've already a loser in the chat has already said Sword in the Stone for him. So if Hydro is still there, he just said he's back.
I'm gonna say.
So he'll
either. I figured a way out. I figured a way out of it. Debo.
Just put Debo. There you go.
All right, Hydro says Dumbo.
That's just gonna split the fan vote.
You see, that's rough. Because Sword in the Stone is actually a lot more entertaining than I thought it was initially going to be. I thought I was going to be bored out of my mind. I think Arthur's journey is actually pleasant to watch. Merlin's a fine character. Madam Mim, I wish we got a little bit more of her, but that's fine. But I feel like Dumbo is in and out and somehow still manages to be iconic despite being only about an hour and 10 minutes. So I'm going to give it to Dumbo.
All right, what do we got?
Although it's very close.
We got a split fan vote right now. So it may come down to that if something else happens. But I'm with Loser and his sentiment in the chat. I honestly don't care for either of these films. They're both just fine.
I'm not a big fan of
Not really pounding the table for either one. But unless the fan vote changes here, I'm just going to keep up our streak of upsets, and I'm going to vote for Sword in the Stone. Just keep the ball rolling with the low seeds moving on. So we'll see what happens when the poll closes here.
Maybe you shouldn't have used your damn coin earlier.
Oh, hey, I used the coin to get Lion King through. Lion King, can you imagine? But I had to waste my coin on Lion King.
Now,
Well,
so yeah, I did spring this on you guys. We will get another coin in the second round, but that's it. No coins
okay.
used beyond the second round. So you can get a movie into the Sweet
Oh,
16, but that's it. Then it's all votes.
It's crazy, right, loser?
All right. It's a
all right.
split. So we're going to go with Sword in the Stone advancing.
Now, if I don't use my coin in this first round, do I get 2 coins for the second
No,
round?
it's use it or lose it.
Okay.
All right. Number 6 seed, Lady and the Tramp, going up
Okay.
against the 11 seed, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
We're kind of in the dumps here, huh? We're really trudging right along. I actually liked Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
Oh my
the Lady
god.
and the Tramp was charming. Um, I think Scamp is a fun character. I mean, I'm going Lady and the Tramp. That spaghetti scene is probably better than anything in Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
Ichabod and
So
Mr. Toad is
satisfying.
fine, especially with Bing Crosby and the songs, the Headless Horseman. Like it's a
Yeah,
good story, and it's fairly short because of how old it is. It took them forever to make that
yeah.
short of a film. But
Is
yeah,
that the only one that's from wartime that's in here?
I don't think so, but it might be.
So,
Other,
Mr. Toad used to be a ride at Disney World,
Hmm.
and it was
yeah,
one
I
of my
remember
favorite
that.
rides when I was younger. And then it was replaced by Winnie the Pooh. And out of spite, I didn't go on Winnie the Pooh for the longest time
Wow.
because it replaced Mr. Toad. And then I finally went on it, and I was so happy that as you pull into as you first get onto the ride, you see Mr. Toad. You see a picture of Mr. Toad handing the deed to Owl. So I thought that was so charming. I don't know why I just thought of that.
Yeah.
And also, Lady and the Tramp, they have a restaurant there that I actually eat at every time I go to Magic Kingdom. It's an Italian restaurant, and it's right there off Main Street.
I
So
think I've been there
you,
before, actually.
you can get a table on the outside and watch the parade. If you have lunch,
Yeah.
if you sign up for lunch at 11:30, you'll be out there watching that then 12 o'clock parade, eating your lunch. It's really nice to do. You have a good.
You could do that for the night parade, too, can you not?
You can, but it's harder to get reservations for the night
Yeah.
parade.
Yeah.
So that's the fun fact. I'm going Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah.
As far as dog movies, I'd rather watch All Dogs Go to Heaven,
Okay.
which is another good callback. But Lady and the Tramp is it's better than Mr. Toad. I'm sorry, it is. I like the ride, but Mr. Toad, it's not a bad movie. It's not a movie that I'm
It's just
going out of my
fine.
way to watch. I'm not going out of my way to watch either of them actually.
Right.
But Lady and the Tramp
Yeah.
it moves on. I guess that's it for me. It moves on.
Yeah. I'm with you as well. It's going to be a clean sweep, even though I don't think Ichabod and Mr. Toad's that bad.
No,
And
it's
that
not.
means that as the 6th seed, Lady and the Tramp is now our highest remaining seed in this region.
And I don't think it's going
That's
to go any
fucking
further, to
wild.
be honest with you.
That's wild.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. This is going to be a crazy
Who's seen
region.
All Dogs Go to Heaven?
All right, we've got the 7 seed Bambi against the 10 seed Cinderella.
How is Cinderella number 10? Holy
People
shit.
hating
I
on
think
Cinderella.
this is-
I told you, Cinderella could be a Cinderella story.
I think this is very easily Cinderella. Bambi's cute. Bambi's cute. Hydra, you can't say Bambi's a classic and not say Cinderella's a classic. Bambi's cute. I think the best parts of Bambi. So here's the funny thing about Bambi. The most iconic parts of Bambi is the most boring parts of Bambi, and that's when Bambi's a kid. The best parts of Bambi is when Bambi's an adult and the forest is on fire, and like he's like training to be like the next head of the table, the tribal chief, if you will. But like, I think Cinderella does like just like a. It's nice to see because Cinderella's not really like. She doesn't feel like an asshole that just like became a princess, right? Like she was getting ragged on by her fucking stepsisters and her stepmom, Ms. Lady Tremaine, and like she kind of like it's a Cinderella story. Like it's very much that whatever. And plus, like the face that Lady Tremaine makes when Cinderella has the other glass slipper is one of the most iconic zoom ins I've ever seen. I think it's Cinderella. Although Bambi's mom getting shot, though.
Bambi's mom getting shot is part of the Disney cliche. Kill the mom, opening scene, get rid of her.
The Disney experience.
Like it just showed up on the screen. Cinderella, the rags turning into the gown, the flipper if the shoe fits. Like it's just there's so many iconic things with Cinderella.
Yeah, there's a reason why she's still relevant.
Neither movie, I'm like, They're not great. I'm not gonna lie, they're not great. They're both more of we're looking at them through nostalgia eyes right now. I did have a Thumper stuffed animal growing up. Loved Thumper.
Mm-hmm.
Thumper was great. But I would watch Cinderella over Bambi.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna pick Cinderella. When You Wish Upon a Star, also very iconic. I'm gonna go Cinderella. This was more difficult for me than I thought it would be. Again, neither film I think is that great, but they're good stories, and they're they'd be good books. A quick little children's book with pictures.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you could get through all of these quickly. Yeah, I'm going Cinderella. I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry, guys. I added nothing to that conversation.
You're good.
Other than Cinderella's castles at Magic
My
Kingdom.
issue with Bambi is just like the arc of the story, because you have this high point immediately with the mom being killed and dying, and then he's all on his own, and then it just dips, and then it's just all this like filler in between in the middle before it hits the high point again at the end, just the roller coaster of that. Whereas I feel like Cinderella is just a more consistent story across the board and keeps you more engaged the entire time.
Yeah.
So that's my vote there too. All right. Moving on. We've got the last one of this region, the 2 seed 101 Dalmatians against the 15 seed the Aristocats.
Controversial opinion. Controversial opinion. I'm going with Aristocats on this one. Even though Cruella de Vil is one of the greatest villains, I think 101 Dalmatians like kind of takes forever to like get to the point. Like the fun stuff
100% loser.
with like, I'm looking at clips and looks like Lion King copied Bambi and made it better. Yeah. Like 101 Dalmatians, I feel like the best parts about it is Cruella, and she's not in it just nearly enough. Like we don't get Cruella until like we see bits of her, but we don't really get her until like last 20, 30 minutes. However, while the Aristocats, I think, is a charming movie. Like it's actually like cute. Like, and what's his name? What's his fucking name? He has like an Irish name, like McManning or some shit like that. Right? O'Malley, yeah, O'Malley. Like great character. You know what I mean? Like him like helping Duchess and like her kittens out, whatever. Like it's just a good time. And then the little like jazz section that they have in the building was fun too. But yeah, I mean either one of these. The Siamese cats is crazy. I will say that. But yeah, I mean I'm going with Aristocats.
Boy, do we disagree on this one. Aristocrats for me was an hour and a half I can't get back in my life.
Wow, you really disliked Aristocats that much?
Didn't have fun with it. Didn't think it was charming. Didn't enjoy it. I was just kind of like, it sucked.
Really? I'm not waving the Aristocats.
You did.
I'm not waving the Aristocats flag, but like. I think it just 101 Dalmatians just is not. Like, and what seed is it? Like the 4th seed?
We're looking at them head to head. We're not looking at seedings. That's not how I'm picking them. I'm going
with Aristocats.
I understand. I'm going 101 Dalmatians. The movie was fun. As a kid, you're starting to count them. It's like, oh, blah 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 blah. Like if you didn't, you're lying. If you got to 101, good for you. I never did. I don't have that patience. Um, uh, Cruella de is great. Her henchmen are great. The maid's hilarious. I
Loser,
had a
you're
good
right
time.
about that.
I had a good time with it. 101 Dalmatians with a bullet. Aristocats can fuck off. I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
think
done.
Aristocats is fine, but 101 Dalmatians is iconic. So,
I mean, I'm not mad about it.
yeah.
Like,
With the fan vote,
I'm not
it's going to
using my
move on,
coin.
and
I'm not using my
it'll
coin.
be the top rated movie in that gold to bronze region. That was just full of upsets.
Oh my god, so crazy.
That era stunk. Excuse me.
All right, this is the last region. Experimental revival.
All right, I'm definitely gonna be using my coin here.
First
Very
up,
soon.
we've got the 1 seed Zootopia against the 16 seed Brother Bear.
Zootopia, so easily. Zootopia, to me.
I still can't believe Brother Bear moved on. By the way, like, what the fuck happened?
Well, what it face? What did it face again?
It was in the play-in,
Atlantis, right?
and it faced
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Like first and foremost, fucking
I think it's the vote I abstained from. By the way,
what's his name? Jason Bateman.
Yeah, Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman as Nick Wilde, fucking so underrated. Like that performance does not get talked about enough. The movie just has so much heart, and like it's one of those movies that like it does such an incredible job of conveying the subject material which they're trying to convey, which is like prejudice and like I remember when I was first watching, like seeing like the difference in like animal sizes kind of threw me off, whatever. But then like I thought about it afterward, I'm like, fucking duh. They're trying to make it that way so that you could see the actual differences between the animals, whatever, and how different everybody is. And like using like predator versus prey as like a way of like kind of trying to divide people, whatever. It was so fucking smart. Brother Bear, I think, is like is a cute movie, whatever, but like it's nowhere near like Zootopia levels. Like Zootopia is like as far as modern Disney movies, I think one of the better Disney movies. One of the better Disney movies ever, in my opinion. But yeah, I think it's very easily Zootopia.
Zootopia was on the podium for prettiest movie for me. Just the different regions
So
of the
good.
city were just so cool looking.
Yeah, the Rainforest District, the fucking Tundra Town.
Yeah, the mob boss was a
yeah, the Ison. Yeah,
and it's just
Ison.
he had little polar bears as
You come
as his
to
guards.
me.
Like
right.
You come to me with a request.
I enjoyed the hell out of Zootopia. I thought it was really good. It was a lot. I think it was a lot more fun than I thought it was gonna be. Zootopia is one of those movies that I wish I saw in the theater, but I didn't. Because I was like, I'm not gonna watch this shit in a theater. Get out of here. And then I watched it on DVD or the.
It has
app
one of the best apologies in a movie too. Like
yes, and it was so good. Shakira. Shakira was in the soundtrack for it. Love that. Because I love Shakira, but who does not? I don't know what else to say. Brother Bear, I think I've already said enough about Brother Bear. It's just.
Zootopia easy. Moving on.
Jumbo Pop for my boy.
We got the number 8 seed Tangled taking on the 9 seed Wreck-It Ralph.
That's tough.
We got one
Oh
of
man.
Mark's favorite Kingdom Hearts leveled versus a movie he just watched.
Well, I've seen Wreck-It Ralph before. Um, those were actually both rewatches. Um, I'm biased. It's good, but I have filled in for one of the teacher multiple times. Shows a movie every time I feel in. It feels like 50 times. The movie, but I'm biased and don't like it the same reason I don't like Frozen. Oh, Tangled. Okay. I think Tangled. I'm going Tangled on this. I think Rapunzel, like to me, has um, her arc is very similar to to it's kind of similar to Anna in a
Yeah.
sense where like she's like isolated and then like sees the real world, whatever, and then like
Be right back, guys.
yeah, do your thing. Um, like Wreck-It Ralph is incredible. But I think like as far as modern Disney princesses, Rapunzel is just like she feels relatable. Like I don't know, like compared to some other princesses, like she just feels relatable, and like she has like that. She really captures that like child wonder of like Disney, whatever. Flynn Rider's also great. Also, fucking Stone Cold Fox and Mother Gothel.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I
Like,
knew that was going to happen.
like Mother Gothel to me, as far as modern Disney villains in the like from 2000 on, I think is a top three villain. Um, she is a gaslighting queen. She is the complete. She is an incredible foil to Rapunzel's like will to be free and will to kind of like have her own like life and stuff like that. It is while Wreck-It Ralph is incredible. I think the problem with Wreck-It Ralph that I kind of dealt with, I touched upon this in my review a little bit. Like I think Wreck-It Ralph relies a lot on its references.
Sorry about that. What I
Um,
missed?
no, I was just
Oh,
talking about I'm going Tangled, but my issue with Wreck-It Ralph is that it kind of relies a lot on its references sometimes, um, and like it as cool as it is, whatever.
Hmm.
Sometimes when the references are gone, it's like it's not an empty movie, whatever, but like that middle section, it kind of takes a little bit to get to the point. Whereas like also Tangled had incredible music.
I don't
Like
know. I
I
do
see the
enjoy how, with those references, like you're talking about, it really helps them establish where Felix and Ralph fit into like the video
true.
game world. Sets
Yeah,
them up pretty good to set their whole story.
it does feel like a realistic video game world, like with those references. Like if you don't have Sonic and Bowser and like Zangief and
Hmm.
Eggman just kind of chilling, whatever, then you don't believe it's a video game world,
Right.
right? Because like I don't recognize these guys, whatever. So there is a level of relatability there. So I'll give you that. I just feel like with Tangled, um, it has such a and then like her like rising up against Gothel, whatever, was also very good.
Yeah.
Um, I think it was yeah, I think it was done very well. I'm gonna say Tangled.
I'm gonna go with Wreck-It Ralph. Um, I liked Wreck-It Ralph a lot. I thought it was fun. I've already gone over it. The characters, the amount of time the characters were in there, they didn't overstay their welcome, in my opinion. And like I said, I'm not a fan of what's her name. Um, and
Uh,
Tangled was a
yeah.
fun movie too. Tangled was not a bad movie by any means. It was a fun movie. It was a good movie. It was a pretty movie. Another pretty movie. We got
Hmm.
a bunch of pretty movies coming up, guys.
Yeah.
Um,
I haven't even looked
but
at the bracket at all.
but to me,
I don't know.
Tangled, my favorite parts in Tangled were actually in your game, Kingdom Hearts. And other than that, I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'm just like, so to me, Tangled's like a good video game, but it wasn't a good movie. Whereas this is a good movie and a good video game for Wreck-It Ralph. So I just think Wreck-It Ralph beats it in head-to-head action. I think I enjoy Wreck-It Ralph more. So I'm going Wreck-It Ralph.
I am going to vote Tangled, but Wreck-It Ralph is going to advance with the fan vote tiebreaker.
Oh
I do want to give a
no.
shout out to Maximus, though, the horse in Tangled.
Yeah.
He
I
steals the
forgot about
show
Maximus.
for me in that.
How
Him and Eugene Fitzherbert hanging out the whole time, constantly hating each other, and then turning into a friendship at the end. Pretty strong story in the B characters. Having a side story through the whole thing that kind of arcs from beginning to end as well, I thought was really good.
how many matchups do we have left
6.
in this region?
Uh-oh.
6.
Yeah.
The irony of Mark wanting to use a coin against a movie whose whole theme was to get a coin is
Yeah.
fantastic.
I just don't want to use this coin.
Yeah.
And then like regret it.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Move on, yeah.
We've got the 5 seed Big Hero 6 against the 12 seed The Princess and the Frog.
Wow.
This is okay, so this should be more difficult for me, but it's not. It's Big Hero 6 for me. I think Big Hero 6 handles the story of grief and properly grieving and learning to move on and like not shutting out your connections and like really like learning to kind of keep on living in the name of whoever had passed away like so well. And don't get me wrong, Princess and the Frog is a great movie. And like
It'd be a great ride.
And Tiana, I can't wait for the ride. And Tiana, I think is an incredibly underrated Disney princess. Dr. Facilier is incredibly, bless you by the way, is incredibly underrated.
Would scare the shit out of me if
Disney villain.
Right.
The whole use of voodoo, the setting of New Orleans. Like I think it's an incredible movie. I think it is just running into a juggernaut, in my opinion. I think Big Hero 6 is. It doesn't. There's parts in Princess and the Frog that kind of drag a little bit, especially like when they're in the swamp with like the fucking like weird like firefly guy and the alligator. It kind of drags a little bit there, but like it never. While Big Hero 6, it never really overstays its welcome.
Right.
Big Hero 6, and like it's almost like a 2-hour movie, and it does not feel like it. It goes by, and like everything has significance, and like there's plot lines, like and like little like payoffs that they set up in the first 5 minutes of the movie that get paid off multiple times throughout the movie, and it is so well done. Big Hero 6, yeah, Big Hero 6 for me.
I really liked Princess and the Frog. And I'm excited to go on the new ride. Big Hero 6, I see what you mean. I really do. It just something about it didn't click with me. I didn't. You know, sometimes you just get into movies like I know it's a good movie. I understand that. I understand the premise is a good premise, and it should be good. I don't know why it didn't connect. I didn't connect with it.
Yeah.
And it's not bad by any means. I just like didn't. It didn't do anything for me. And I know it
Baymax is very divisive.
Yeah, Baymax actually. We have another Ducky Award, by the way.
Oh, look at this.
For Baymax.
The cutest.
we have a Ducky Award. Baymax is getting the It's All Your Fault Award.
What?
So this award goes to the character that makes it so I don't enjoy a movie.
Wow.
And I think Baymax is the reason why I don't enjoy Big Hero 6.
Baymax is literally the fucking
congratulations, okay. Baymax, on your It's All Your Fault Ducky Award for why I don't appreciate this movie.
Baymax is the living incarnation of fucking why am I forgetting his fucking name? Tadashi.
You give out your rant. You give out your Randy's however you want. I'm giving out my duckies.
Baymax is Tadashi's will carried on.
Can we get a round of applause for Baymax for winning the Ducky
Way to
for
go.
It's All Your Fault award? There we
Stop.
go.
Unbelievable.
That being said, I'm gonna vote for Princess and the Frog. I know I'm losing this one, unfortunately, but I did enjoy Princess and the Frog immensely. Like, the villain would scare the shit out of me, bro. Like,
I just walk in and he's like, "He on your channel too." Jeez, what up, Mac? Anyone up for Duck Hunt? Yeah, loser.
Right, let me put Mac and loser in timeout real quick.
No, don't do that. How you doing, Mac? We're arguing about Disney movies.
So you guys' turn. I'm gonna cough real quick.
Yeah, you are correct. You are going to lose on this one because I am also going Big Hero 6. It's going to advance. I will say I had not seen Princess and the Frog until we started doing this. I had not actively avoided it. I just never went out of my way to watch it until this point. So I didn't have high expectations because of basically the era that it's from with the Disney animation, like I had talked about earlier. But it was a lot better than I actually expected it to be. And, I have no problem going back and watching it again. But
I think the setting is so great, too.
Yeah. But it's Big Hero 6 for me. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
All right, next one. This is going to be an interesting one for Mark. We have the 4 seed Encanto against the 13 seed.
Say it correctly, sir. Say
Frozen
it correctly.
2.
No! God, no! Quite literally, these 2 movies and Big Hero 6 are the 3 movies that have made me cry the most in these Disney canon. Like, oh my God, this... I need to think about this. You guys go.
Well, I couldn't be happier to say this. Encanto. Or
Encanto.
There you go, with the Spanish accent that Mark likes
Encanto.
to use. If it was Frozen 1, I'm picking Frozen 1. We know my feelings towards Frozen 2. I can't get past it. I gotta let it go, but I can't. Encanto was so cute. It was another pretty movie. Like, I'm gonna repeat this, guys. There's a lot of pretty movies out there. It was really good. Another tearjerker. Yeah, Encanto's good, and Encanto's great. You know what? It's not even good. It's great.
Yep.
And Frozen 2 is just Frozen 2. I mean, how did it make it through? Damn you guys. I should have coined Frozen. Son of a bitch.
I didn't give you the coin at that point. That's why.
I know. If I had the coin, and then I had to waste my coin on Lion King. What a waste. So there we are. That's where we're at. I'm picking Encanto, just so I can hear Mark say Encanto again.
We talked about this before. I enjoyed Frozen 2, but I've gone through, I set all this up, but I've gone through the brackets with you guys here. I've looked at all these trailers, setting this all up, going through all these movies, thinking about how I might rank these. Encanto to me is a dark horse to win the whole thing. I think it's going to be tough to eliminate it at any point as we go through the brackets. For me, this is, as much as I enjoyed Frozen 2, it's Encanto pretty easy for me.
Okay. Encanto
right now.
Encanto to me is such so I watched Encanto today, guys, for the first time. Incredible. I got a 9.4 for me. It's like the second or third highest rating. Literally tied for second. It does so it hits a little home for me because it deals with I don't want to get into details too much, but it deals with generational what's it called? Why am I forgetting the name? Like generational, not depression, but like generational
grief, strife, stuff like that.
Yeah, like generational grief, I guess, for lack of a better term. And like how people who are hurt from the previous generation tend to take it out on one or multiple people in a past generation and don't necessarily address it. And there's a lot of situations. I mean, they literally like the whole like Maribel standing up to her abuela, and like her being the only one that could really connect with Bruno, on the level.
Sir, we don't talk
We
about
don't
him.
talk about Bruno though.
Also, we don't talk about Bruno. One of the greatest Disney songs ever. Like my God,
I mean,
so
the whole
fucking good.
soundtrack on here. These are two killer
Is
soundtracks against each other
it
too.
is it is an incredible soundtrack. Frozen 2, I think, like I said, does an incredible job um, of really continuing the story while not forgetting about the story that happened in the first one. They really build upon Anna and Elsa's character arcs and do an incredible job of making them feel like they're growing, but also like, for example, the biggest example of this is like Anna and Elsa like hug it out about like like Elsa's about to go more north to like the glacier, and like instead of embracing Anna and saying, "Hey, you know what? Come with me, whatever. I could use your help." She sends fucking Anna down on a fucking sled and says, "I'm gonna do this alone." Again, something that she did in the first movie, and like it shows that she's learning from her mistakes, but at the same time, there's a lot of work to be done, and like she still has those minor setbacks, whatever, and I like that. Um, that being said, I'm going to be using my coin on Frozen 2.
Wow.
Shit.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Holy crap.
As incredible as
So,
Encanto is, Frozen 2,
no,
I think, is just that much better.
I was fully ready to do this because I thought they were out the door, but we're giving another Ducky Award away right now because I thought he was out the door. Our funniest sidekick, because he's staying in, and we get to keep talking about him, but he's still here.
Olaf.
We're
He's
using it on
so
Olaf.
good. Yeah.
Olaf cracks me up, man. And Frozen 1 or 2, I thought they were out the door, so I was going to announce it right now, but we're giving it to Olaf. Olaf is getting a Ducky for funniest sidekick, so well done, Olaf.
Oh, and
Good
then
job. Good on you.
another underrated part of this movie was Olaf's like Loki has a really good character arc. Like him, like he seemed like in the first one, I wasn't really a bit. He was funny in the first one, but like it felt like
Funny
he was
enough.
just kind of a nothing character, to be honest. Like it feels like he was the glue of this story, like the glue of like this group of people, like
It's
between
because
like
he has no bones or skull. So
yeah, but like and that hurt me to use my coin against Encanto of all things. Um, like it, I fucking hate the fact
I
that they
can't
were.
believe it just got used that way.
I can't
I'm
believe that
shocked.
they had to face each other in the
I
first
really thought
round.
that could have at least made the final four.
I think I thought so too. I didn't think they were going to face each other in the first round,
Interesting.
but
Well,
yeah.
I can't wait till we recap all the people that are out after this round. It's gonna be insane.
Lion King and Encanto were almost out in the first round, guys. That would have been
All right, we've got the
hindsight. I'm glad
3
to use your
seed
coin.
Raya and the Last Dragon and the 14 seed Treasure Planet.
Okay, so
Is it weird that I don't?
before I go on with this one, I have not seen either of these movies.
Oh wow.
I am useless in this one altogether. I apologize. So
You good?
wash
Okay.
my hands of this one.
I'm
So
gonna go with
Raya is a
Raya.
movie that I just watched today. You can go, Steve.
I'm gonna go with Raya.
You're gonna go Raya.
Yeah, Treasure Planet is fine, but I think it's indicative of that era of they were just throwing shit at the wall to see what they could get away with, and it's okay, but
You
it's nothing
see,
that I'm anxious to go back to.
so your argument with Treasure Planet is the exact argument I'm going to use against Raya. Is that in an era where you're surrounded by Frozen 2, Encanto, both Wreck-It Ralph,
He can't just say it normally. He has to say it with the accent. I love it. My favorite.
At this point. In an era where you're surrounded by nothing but bangers, I think it missed the mark a little bit. I think the animation is incredible. I think the story, like Disney having the boldness to do essentially a post-apocalyptic story is very bold and it works. My issue, and you guys, because I actually, like I said, I literally just watched it like 8 hours ago for the first time. My issue with the story is the messaging kind of misses the mark. It's a story about trust and like learning to trust people, and learning to kind of let go of control, because of like lack of trust. And the issue is that Raya throughout the movie does learn to trust people, and she does like do a sound job of trusting people. But then towards the end of the movie, the dragon, Sisu, Sisu wants Raya to trust in the girl that backstabbed her in the fucking first place. She literally betrayed her in the first place. And it's not like I forgot her name, Nakari or something like that. It's not like she did anything to earn that trust back. It's not like she apologized. It's not like she said anything. And guess what? Guess what? When fucking they go with this plan to try and like to be peaceful about it, she fucking holds the dragon at fucking arrow point anyway. Yep. So like it literally proves Raya right. Like, and then like there's this whole showdown between Raya and this girl. And the girl's like, "Oh well, Sisu trusted me but you didn't trust in Sisu, so you're just as much as blame for this as I am." It's like, no. Why did you hold her at gunpoint? Like, no. So like, it's like I get the messaging, but I don't know. Like, are we just supposed to like? I understand trusting people and learning to let go of control, but like, if somebody blatantly backstabs us and they're not doing anything to earn our trust other than someone saying, "I have a feeling that we could trust them," when I know that this person backstabbed me, why the fuck should I trust you? So, like, off of that, I'm going to go with Treasure Planet.
Now, I know.
Just because.
I agree with you that compared to other movies in this region and this time, Raya is definitely not as good. And I'm not saying it's going to go far, but I'm not comparing it to everything else. I'm just saying head to head against Treasure Planet, I would say Raya is a better movie.
I'm gonna say Treasure Planet because also I like the story of John Silver and fucking why am I forgetting his fucking name? There's a lot of characters I forgot their names of, but I love the story of John Silver and the dude from Treasure Planet, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Love it. I love their story. I like the fact that the father figure of the main character is also the antagonist. I think John Silver is an excellent villain / like father figure. I think they do a really good job of also like making like you feel sympathy for him, like because like it goes both ways, because he starts off as a villain and then he like starts to actually bond with him, and then like at the end like they're kind of at odds, but then they kind of like help each other. I think it's a good story. It's a good like, especially because he didn't have a father figure to begin with. So I think it's a heartfelt story. I'm going with Treasure Planet.
Duck, would you like a vote? With the fan vote, Raya's going to move on either way. But would you like to vote one way or the other?
I haven't seen either of them, so
okay.
I know nothing.
I will just leave it.
I'm Jon Snow. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Next up, we've got the number 6 seed Winnie the Pooh, the 2009 edition, against the 11 seed The Emperor's New Groove.
Emperor's New Groove, so easily. Do we even have to have a conversation about this?
I don't even know if we need a poll.
It's a movie versus a movie of shorts.
I'm picking New Groove. Are you guys doing it too?
Yeah.
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 All right, so I'm not even
We
gonna
don't
bother
even need
putting
to
Bolt
talk
up
about
there because it's
this.
just gonna
Yeah.
slow us down. We'll be talking about Emperor's New Groove here shortly, though. Eventually soon. So
All right.
let's
Yeah.
move.
We don't
Let's
even
move
need to
past
go
that one.
through all this. This is easy. All right. Moving on.
Winnie the Pooh.
Moving on. We've got the 7 seed Bolt against the 10 seed Lilo and Stitch.
What?
Ooh.
Wait. What? Okay,
Okay.
I mean, you want to
Go
start,
ahead.
Darkwing? Because you seem to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
contested here.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and start with this one since I was completely involved with the last one. First of all, Miley Cyrus and John Travolta are two huge gets for any
Yeah.
animated movie.
Yeah.
So let's start there. And I
Well, it's
think
Disney
Susie
Channel Miley Cyrus. It wasn't that hard to get her back then.
still, I think Susie Essman's in it, and also Randy Savage as the
Yeah.
Randy Savage popping up in
Mhm.
Bolt is just so funny to me. Like it's phenomenal. I recently watched Lilo and I actually told Steve this. I watched Lilo and Stitch for the first time while I was in Arizona for my brother-in-law's funeral and wake and everything. I was already emotional as shit.
Mhm.
Holy fuck.
Mhm.
Like, why am I crying over a little fucking alien and this little Hawaiian girl? It was so good, bro. And I don't know if it's recency bias or what, but I do love I do love Randy Savage popping up in Bolt. Bolt was a good movie. Bolt would have moved on against a couple matchups we had easily. But
Yeah.
I'm going Lilo and Stitch. It was so good. The sister trying to make it work,
Uh,
the trying to make ends meet, and every time she tried, it's like, damn, just leave your sister home when you're applying for a job. Fuck.
Mhm.
Like she was and then Stitch was just so mischievous unintentionally until
yeah.
finally he grew up. I did not expect the doctor and the other alien to stay there with them,
Yeah,
but I'm
John
kind of
Bud.
happy they did.
Weekly. Yeah.
I think there's a sequel that I need to see at some point.
There's a couple of
But
sequels and like a show and
I enjoyed this movie. It was really cute. I'm going Lilo and Stitch, but a big shout out to Miley and Travolta, just so good. Like
yeah.
why so good. And I love Miley Cyrus, so there's that. But we move. You guys
Steve, you
turn.
want to go or do you want me to go?
I can go. It's fine. I'm gonna vote Bolt. Lilo and
Oh wow.
Stitch. I just saw like Darkwing for the first time a little while ago, preparing for this, and it was fine. But if you were to tell me that I'd still never seen it up until this point, I don't think I'd be missing that much. It was okay, but I don't know if I'm gonna
Oh man.
actively seek it back out to go watch it again. Whereas Bolt, I feel like just has so much rewatchability for me. I just connect with it more. Do I love it more than Lilo and Stitch enough to use my coin? No, but I would just prefer Bolt.
Um
Do you love Randy Savage enough to use your coin?
No, still not. I'm gonna end up not using my coin at all, and that's all right.
I'm going Lilo and Stitch.
If
I
I knew what
think
I know now, I would have used it on Encanto, but it's too late for that. So.
I think Lilo and Stitch does such a great job of like showing that not all families are built the same, and that like the whole the the whole it was a quote. It was like it, it's not it's a broken family, but it's a good family. Like the whole storyline of it doesn't have to we don't have to be we're not a regular family, right? But we love each other enough to make it work, and we'll always love each other to love each other enough to make it work. And also shout out over the years, a lot of people um like to not like to a lot of people say that Lilo is like kind of become an autism icon. Um, it's kind of like autism coded in some ways. And I actually like did research and everything like that, and there's a lot of like similarities and everything like that. So shout out to like Lilo being like a 2000s autism icon. Um, Autism is very near and dear to my heart and everything. So shout out to that, and also just like, um, yeah, loser, look it up. Lilo now, like, just look up like Lilo like autism. There's a lot of people in the autism community that very much like relate to her or whatever, especially like her her like acting out with like certain things as far as like a lot of people with autism have like a thing that they kind of like attach to, and hers being like the photos and like taking pictures of people, whatever. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I think it's Lilo. I didn't think this was going to be a tiebreaker thing, but yeah, I think it's
Well, I
Lilo
mean, it's
instead.
3-1, so it's not really.
Oh yeah,
It's not really that close. It's just me. All right, we got our last one. The 2 seed Moana against the
oh
15 Meet the Robinsons.
Setting up a poll for this. I don't think I need to, but I'm going to.
I told you I'm not going to have to use my coin today.
Darkwing, do you
Why
want
don't
to
you set up
go?
a poll for this?
Darkwing, do you want to go meet the Robinsons so he uses his coin?
Meet the Robinsons suck. Like it sucked out loud.
It did not suck. Okay, it was a solid movie. It's just not Moana. It's not Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Moana
is
Pride in Moana.
one of the. Oh yeah, that
When
the whole like scene where like they all like the spirits like are sailing with her or whatever.
or when the grandma died. The grandma was
yeah.
better than anything in Meet the Robinsons by far. You know what? The
I
tattoo
don't
is
know.
better than anything in Meet the Robinsons.
I don't know. Him getting adopted was pretty big, but whatever.
Yeah, the grandma's saying, "I better come back to the Stingray, or else I chose the wrong tattoo." I was like, "You're a good call." I'm picking Moana. We can talk about Moana more when we get to the next round, but Moana for me.
It's very obviously Moana, but
yeah, that's it.
How long have we been going?
4 hours.
Oh, that's a typical stream.
Yeah, it's a typical stream for you. All right. Well,
it's like hours for me. Jesus.
That's it. That's the first round. We'll reconvene at a later time to finish the rest. But there's our 32 that have advanced.
We have our last ducky.
Yeah, we have to.
Okay, what do you?
We have another ducky.
Go.
What?
Can
you tell me what region it's in?
It's for our last movie, Moana.
Oh. Okay.
For my favorite hero is it's actually Moana. Moana got my favorite hero. She wasn't a princess, and I liked how she pointed out she wasn't a princess. I liked that she took a demigod and grabbed him by the ear and like, look, you're coming with me, bitch. I like that she stepped up, and I really love this movie. Moana was phenomenal. Stupid ass bird cracked me up too.
She's so hardworking. Like she's such a hard worker. Like Moana doesn't ever feel like she had Maui on her side, but it's not like she didn't have to work for that, right? Like it feels like Moana worked for everything that she achieved in that movie.
She outshined The Rock in the movie, which is difficult to do with as good as he was. He could have easily just overshadowed everything in that movie, but he didn't, because she was a well-written character, a well-acted character. So good. The songs were good. Moana wins the last ducky of the evening for best hero.
Nice.
So, way to go, Moana.
Nice. Well,
there we go. So, can we go over what advanced before we head out?
Sure.
And what's gone before we head out?
Yeah. Some notable what's gone.
Okay, so in the PIXAR region, we had literally no upsets. It was Finding Nemo, Monsters Inc., Coco.
I think we're getting into some gritty stuff this next round.
Toy Story 3, Incredibles, Ratatouille, and Inside Out. Let's see. What was eliminated? Cars, Soul, A Bug's Life, Luca, Onward, WALL-E, Turning Red, and Brave.
You put a lot of emphasis on that Onward, Steve.
Yeah, Onward.
I wanted to use my coin on Onward so badly. I'm glad I didn't.
Ugh, I should have. I ended up pocketing that coin. It's not going to do me any good now.
Nice little
Thank
keepsake.
you, by the way, loser.
All right.
Which was real fun.
In the next one, we've got Aladdin, Winnie the Pooh, Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Tarzan, Little Mermaid, Lion King, Mulan, Hercules, Beauty and the Beast. Also, no upsets in that region.
Yeah.
Aladdin's going to the Sweet 16. Like, there's... Oh, my God.
Aladdin has a very clear path.
Right. That's what I'm
Aladdin
saying.
has a chance.
Aladdin isn't running into any trouble until maybe like the second or third round.
Then we
like
had
third
our
or fourth
all
round.
upset bracket. Robin Hood, The Jungle Book, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, The Sword and the Stone, Lady and the Tramp, Cinderella, and 101 Dalmatians.
None of those sound like upsets.
But so then the movies they knocked out were Pinocchio, Sleeping Beauty, Fantasia, Snow White, Dumbo,
God.
Ichabod and Mr. Toad, Bambi, and the Aristocats.
Now,
Poor
take out
Aristocats.
the Aristocats and Ichabod.
Mhm.
Think of these classic movies that are gone
Right.
out of the list from that. Like,
To be
you think
fair,
of
though,
Disney
they were
movies.
facing classics, though.
Right.
They are dated, but those are good classic movies. But yeah, I like the Robin Hood one. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Getting fucking jumped next round by Jungle Book.
And then we've got Zootopia, Wreck-It Ralph, Big Hero 6, Frozen 2, Raya and the Last Dragon, The Emperor's New Groove, Lilo and Stitch, and Moana.
Who's Frozen 2 playing in the next round?
Big Hero 6.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
And it's going to keep being difficult for you.
That's
my
gonna
God.
suck for me because I don't know which one I want to move on less.
Oh, come on. Those are like two like top 5 movies like that I've watched. That fucking modern era, now that we got all the fucking shitty movies out the way. That modern era is gonna be rough.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's we got some brutal movies to go through, and it's gonna be difficult.
It's funny. One side of the bracket is very easy, and then the other side of the bracket is like, ugh. Well, actually, no. Like the Renaissance bracket and like the Golden Age bracket are incredibly easy. The PIXAR bracket and the fucking modern bracket are going to get really hard really quickly.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal.
Does Steve use his coin this round?
I mean, out of pure vengeance, yeah, I have to on somebody. I gotta ruin somebody's day. That's
Does
my goal
Steve
here.
use his coin? We'll find out.